sharing all the prompts with you guys and then getting down to business and getting some words written with you guys. So odds are you've done this before, but if not, it's going to be a good time. Or if you have, it'll still be a good time. So I guess first off, as usual, we'll go down the line and let you know what we'll be working on. Desiree, you're up first.
I am still working on my nano novel, and tonight I'm not really going to be like writing so much as like replotting and kind of figure out where the heck the story is going, because I kind of forgot. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Emma, how about you?
Yeah, I'm still working on revisions. I'm in the middle of writing a new scene right now. Yeah, so also, Kelly, when you said we're going to get down to business, I thought to defeat the Huns in my head.
Yes, always. No matter what we're doing, we are working towards their defeat.
Yes.
Megan, how will you be defeating the Huns this evening?
I don't know. I have no clue what I'm going to be working on tonight. I'm hoping that I will open Scrivener and it will just magically be a file that I want to work on. We'll see. Good
luck. I will be trying to finish a chapter that I've been avoiding all week. So.
Same.
Yeah. If you've never tuned in for a writing with us before, we do word sprints. So we set an amount of time to write, and our word sprints usually last about 20 minutes. We do them a little longer to give you just more time to get in the zone. Feel free to ask any writing or bookish related questions in the discussion section, and we will try to answer them on air, time permitting. And if we miss your question and it's writing or bookish related, please re-ask it. We're not trying to skip questions, but just sometimes when there's a lot of discussion going on, which the write-ins tend to have more of, things get shifted up and it's hard to find them, and technology is weird. So we can either jump real fast in and do one at the 40, or we could wait till the 45 and kind of ease in.
What do you guys? We'll ease in.
Yeah.
I've seen you guys all week. Sort of.
Yeah, except for we saw you yesterday.
I know. But I'm sure you've led endlessly fascinating lives since then that you want to interneting on.
Yeah.
I walked down and got the mail today.
Whoa, now.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I actually joined a gym today, so that's weird.
What?
Wow. That's awesome.
Like community center one that like gives you super discounted pricing, but
oh yeah.
Matt joined with me because he'll encourage me to go, so he's now a member of 2 gyms. Completely reasonable.
Yeah.
Now we have no excuse not to be super, super healthy.
Yeah. He's got like a lot of muscle, so he's got enough to need 2 gym memberships for sure, like one for each arm. Have you guys done Right On Con before?
I haven't. I hadn't even heard of it until like I think Susan Denard mentioned.
Yeah, that's what I
for
heard.
like keynote for it, and I was like, oh.
I thought
I've
about
never heard of that
last year, and I didn't sign up in time, but I signed up today. Today is like the last official day of the conference, but with the most basic package, you get access to all of the classes and stuff for a full week afterwards. And I've been looking at the stuff, and it's amazing. If you don't know what Write On Con is, it's basically an online writing conference that is made more affordable for people who don't have hundreds of dollars to just blow on writing conferences every year. And so all the keynote speeches and stuff are free, so you can just watch those on the Write On Con website. And then they have like a $5 package, which gets you all of the like book talks, and it's all like Kidlit related, and it's really blowing my mind right now. I'm learning so much. It's great.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna register to do that like during the first like sprint. I'm just gonna
for $5, it's really, really affordable.
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
Already scrolling through it. So
right, I have like a second tab open. I'm like, this is That's interesting.
Happy to provide everyone's first word sprint distraction. We had a question from Taryn. When you guys are sprinting, do you listen to music? If so, what kind?
The Sims soundtrack or ambient sound mixer.
I do like ambient sound mixer.
I always mean to, and I never do. Not so much with sprints, but even writing in general. I'm pretty much everything needs to be a perfect quiet bubble.
I can't do that. I cannot write in quiet.
Yeah, I'm very variable, just depending on like the day and what I'm working on in my mood. Like sometimes I'll listen to instrumental music, sometimes I'll listen to like 2000s alt rock or something. And like sometimes I want total silence, so it just depends on the day.
Yeah, for me it is a lot of, since I do write a lot of YA, for some reason listening to the mid 2000s rock is the thing that just really gets me in the headspace. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna write all the teens. They're gonna do so much stuff. I feel all the feelings. So it does change, but right now that is my jam.
It's so funny because there's always like YA books where the authors are like a decade older, where for some reason all of these teens really like 80s music, and now they're, oh yeah, we really like all that old school 90s music. Grew up on.
Yeah, it's just whatever you were a teenager, like whatever was on when you were a teenager. We've got a question for Desiree from Dr. Luxful. Do you create your characters or as close as you can get to your characters in The Sims?
Yes, I do that a lot. It is lots of fun. That's like all I do. I'm like, what do they look like? What kind of clothes would they wear?
I have more luck with like
house together.
Getting their houses, just so I know the layout.
It's
so much easier, not to screw up like where the kitchen is and stuff. Of like, I've seen it, it's fine. And I don't even like build them. I'll do the pre-made ones that look more like real houses that I come up with.
Yeah, I have not played The Sims since I was like 10. Like I loved it, but I just have not owned it since then. And I'm always like, I want to get that and play it again, and then I never do.
There was a sale.
I know
it was just on sale for
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played The Sims since yesterday.
It's been too long.
The last time I played The Sims, I realized all of my writing time was going into making my sim a best-selling author, and I haven't been back.
I do that all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I will be back at some point. I'm just waiting for The Sims 4 to have weather.
Yes, I'm ready for seasons.
We have a prompt for our first sprint of the evening, which is going to be going from the 45 to 5 after the hour. And that sprint is someone sneaks out a back window. You don't have to use the prompt if you don't need one. But if you like them, it is there. If you're like me and you don't know what you're going to be working on, this is a great place to start.
Otherwise, we will see you on the Write On Con website.
Yeah. So we've probably got like 30 seconds, yeah, ish.
Something like that.
I just like check my phone clock to see if it's a little ahead. All right, I have the 45 on my computer clock, so we are going to get started. Check in at 5 after the hour. Good luck. time.
How'd that go?
I got 608.
What?
That's good.
I got 184, but I was distracted a lot of the time. So.
Yeah, I got like 170, but I was mostly doing like non-writing things. So
Yeah, I got like 120, but also signed up for Write On Con and did a few entries in my bullet journal.
Yeah. We've got people sharing their word counts in the discussion section right now. Sorry, I guess a bunch of people missed the prompt because the chat like hiccuped right as I was reading it, and I didn't see until like halfway through the sprint. So my apologies for missing that. I just totally spaced putting it in the discussion section, but I won't forget that again.
She's a terrible person.
I am.
Always
I can never forgive you for this.
I'm gonna get kicked out of the WordNerds.
No, never.
Wow, you guys are doing so great on the word counts. Scrolling through to see if I missed any questions. Talk amongst yourselves. So. I ended up deciding to work on my witches project that I work on every like 2 months. I was feeling all inspired because I'm about to finish up baiting Erin's book, which is all witches. And I was like, hey, I've written 15,000 words of a witch novel. I should open that. Speaking of which, Erin is not here. She's in the last week of her maternity leave because she gave birth to a small human. But she's got a book coming out on Tuesday, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so exciting.
Yes, The Strange and Deadly Portraits of Bryony Gray is coming out on Tuesday. I will get a link to that and put it in the discussion section right now.
You can buy it pretty much anywhere that they sell books.
Yeah.
So.
And it's amazing and you want it. And the pre-order on Amazon, at least, is $11.52, which is pretty cheap for a hardcover.
Oh,
I think it's like $11.60.
It's like $20.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Sad. Worth every penny. But it always makes me sad when you guys get way better deals on books.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, you have better health care.
It does.
You also have Tim Hortons.
Oh my god. I had a dream about Tim Hortons this week. I think about it all the time. And after we were talking about the gummy keys that were at Kelly's wedding yesterday, we were talking about it yesterday. Her wedding wasn't yesterday. But,
yes, that's why we all saw each other yesterday. Is I got
So we've got people sharing what projects they're working on. Everything sounds exciting. Should we do our next sprint at the 15?
Let's do it.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Desiree, are you excited for A Wrinkle in Time?
Yes.
Because it comes out the weekend that I'm going to be visiting you.
We should go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting. I'm
I
excited.
saw the release date and I was like, wait a second.
Everyone else should be super jealous.
Yeah.
I am.
I am. Y'all will be at a book fest, right?
Yep.
Should we lock that up a little? If anyone else is going to be there.
It's the Southeastern Young Adult Book Festival. And it's gonna be awesome.
And it's in Tennessee. So if you find yourself living near there.
Yes, if you're in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area.
Yeah, there's some cool authors coming. And Desiree and I will be there. So
yeah. So even if you're far away, travel. Come see us. We'll be happy to sign all autographs, of course.
You'd be surprised. Someone actually asked us to sign autographs at Y'all Fest a couple years ago. We were all like, wait, what? I'm not prepared. I don't know what you are. What is an autograph?
My signature is worth nothing. Oh, Y'all Fest was fun. Good times.
I think about Tricera coffee all the time. And how
I
cute it
do
was.
too. I'm always really bitter because I didn't drink coffee when we went there.
Right?
And so I didn't try it. And I see them tweeting pictures of their coffee all the time. What could have been? So I'm going to read our prompt a couple times to make sure I don't mess that up. So our next sprint is starting in 3 minutes. At the 15, it'll go until the 35. Had to do some math there. And the prompt, which you can use if you so desire, is someone loses a bet. And I will put that in the discussion section as well as read it right before we start the sprint too.
Anyone reading any good books lately?
No.
I can't even remember what I've been reading lately.
You've been reading so much.
Everything.
Every time I get on Facebook, it's like, Emma's read 700 books.
So many books. To a point where I'm like, what have I read? I can't remember now. I did get an advanced copy of Furyborn by Claire Legrand, and I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, I'm not very far in, but it's pretty cool.
I've been struggling this year with the reading.
Yeah.
Real bad. I've read one book this whole year, even though last January I read like 7 books. And it just made me sad, and I just moped for like 2 days because I didn't like it. And I was like, what have I done?
I've read 12 books, and I'm like in progress with like 5 right now.
Yeah, I have a lot on the go.
Yeah. I'm listening to Strange the Dreamer, so I'm finally reading that.
Oh, read that.
Oh, I am still reading Ghostland though. I had that next to my desk.
Ooh.
An American History in Haunted Places. He like goes over different ghost stories throughout America, and it is really fascinating. It's nonfiction. Apparently, nonfiction is the thing I like right now. But it's great and spooky and very interesting. He like looks at how the ghost stories tell us things about like what was going on historically and culturally in the area. So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Let us know in the discussion section if you are reading anything interesting. We have a question that I'm very excited about that we're going to have to answer after the next sprint, but it's about our D&D we've been playing. So I'm very excited to get to that one after the next sprint because I know we'll talk about it for more than 1 minute. But we've got like 30 seconds again. The witching hour where I just start talking to fill the blank space. Okay, it's time. So check-in is going to be at the 35. Again, the prompt is someone loses a bet. I'm writing it in the discussion section right now. Good luck. and we will see you in 20 minutes. time.
I couldn't find the tab with your faces.
We were hiding. Oh, I just had it up. 456 this time.
I got 150 and also made tea.
You.
Nice.
I got-
forgot to check where I started, so I'm not totally sure.
I got 300 even.
We've got people sharing their word counts in the discussion section. You guys are doing so great. We've got ranging from the hundreds to the 800s. So many words. So before we started the sprint, we had a question from Dr. Luxful. Have you guys thought about your classes that you might want to play for D&D?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Yeah,
Although we've kind of stumbled into them at this point. Some of us have started like a very unofficial campaign.
Yeah.
That's actually where I saw Emma and Megan yesterday, playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Erin leads us on a merry adventure.
Yeah, Erin is the only one who knows anything, and so the rest of us are just
She has
like,
to deal with the rest of us.
And then Desiree, you started playing around the same time as well, right?
Yeah, my boyfriend does a campaign online with his friends, and I just kind of got thrown in there.
Yes. So what class do you play?
I'm a wizard.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember what all of our group is.
I'm
an
human,
elf ranger.
human fighter.
Human druid is what I am, I think.
Yes. We had a rhyme. What was the rhyme?
Tilly and Chili.
Yeah, Jillian.
My character's name
Yeah.
is Tilly, and we broke into some poor
Yeah,
guy's
we had-
house.
we had a nice villager feed us some chili for breakfast. So.
Her name was Jasmine, but it turned out it was just chili.
So yes, it's been an adventure so far. Well, we're not a super trusting group in our characters.
And we never know what we're supposed to do next. So like we're like, so because I think a lot of us are like real personalities in real life is like we just wouldn't get involved in all the mess and be like, I'm just gonna go home. Like Kelly actually said that. She was like, my character just wants to go home and forget about all of this. Go eat some more chili.
I'll only run into danger if Megan's character started running first, and I'd like to get there before she does. So.
My favorite part about my character is that she has started picking a fight with Emma's character. So even though we are real life best friends, I get to spend a couple hours every week just coming up with sick insults.
Yeah, so far we pretty much have no idea what we're doing, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
We've been in a town called Pizza Tin, so it's been
Yeah. Erin made the mistake of being like, you guys name it. So we did.
She didn't let us name the second town.
we wanted the next town to be Calzonia, and she was like, I don't think there's a town called Calzonia. We're like, yes, there is. We're going there.
If you haven't seen any of our recent chats, in like a couple weeks ago, we mentioned that all of us had wanted to try Dungeons and Dragons, but that we didn't have people to play it with. And so we offhandedly mentioned, oh, I wonder if you can do it through Google Hangouts. And someone said we could. So we figured it out and started it. We've got other people who play D&D talking about it in the discussion section. We had a question. I cannot find it. I apologize. I know there was another question, but I have no clue where it is.
Someone mentioned wanting to find someone to play with, and through trying to figure all this out, I've definitely learned that there are a lot of online communities and ways to play online with just other people on the internet who want to try it and are willing to teach you. So I think there's a subreddit, r/LFG, which is looking for group, and it's just like a bunch of people looking to play Dungeons and Dragons. So
Who knew? Once I feel a little bit more like I know what I'm doing, I'll probably try and find more people to play with. I own
you guys can
dice.
always play with me and Matt. That'd be cool.
Yes.
Actually, I should probably ask him about that, but you know, it'll be fine.
He'll get over it.
yeah, I even looked at like meetups in my like local area because there's a board game cafe like around the corner from me, but like it's so popular that there's always a wait list. I'm like, I need to know what I'm doing. I can't like last minute, oh, I have to prepare mentally for this now. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Should we do one final sprint at the 45?
Sure.
Might as well.
All right. So we've got 3 minutes before our final sprint of the evening. It'll be another 20-minute sprint. And the prompt is going to be someone your character thought was an ally turns out not to be on their side.
Dun, dun, dun.
Large literature lover asked if anyone has favorite subreddits for writing advice, and I wish. Like, writing is something I haven't been able to find as much of as I would have thought on Reddit.
Yeah.
The YA writers subreddit's pretty good, but not super active.
Yeah, Beth Revis does a lot of posting in that one, right?
Yeah, like whenever she posts, it's awesome, but
yeah,
there's not a lot of other people adding stuff.
Yeah. So we've got 2 minutes.
The space in between sprints where we have no questions is just like the dead zone.
Yeah. If you asked a question and I missed it, I swear I'm not trying to ignore you. Please ask it again.
She's lying. She wants to ignore you.
Yeah. I am a notorious
going to ignore you a second time.
Please ask it again because I want to keep ignoring you.
We don't have a topic for next week, right?
We do not.
So question for all of you guys then is we need an idea for next week's live chat.
Yeah, if there's something we haven't talked about that you would love to hear or that it's been a while since we talked about, we would love to know.
Just like moderately want to hear about it, still suggest. You don't have to love the idea. Anything will do.
But maybe not an idea that you hate. Just...
No, do it. I want the challenge. Yeah. Reading or writing related, but bring it on.
All of the big like book awards come out tomorrow. The Newbery and
oh yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So close.
We need to have like theme music for moments like this.
Yeah. Music that's like, it's getting late and it's almost sprint time. Okay, it's time. 45. This is our final word sprint of the night. So write like the wind. We will check in at 5 after the hour. Again, the prompt is someone your character thought was an ally turns out not to be on their side. And good luck. time.
That one felt like it went quickly.
Yeah,
I agree.
it really did. One sentence I really wanted to finish.
Cheater.
And like the more I waited, the more it's like, if you don't finish it right now, you'll forget it. How did it go for the rest of you?
Well, good, I think.
Pretty good. I was doing like plotting, outlining things in my notebook, so I didn't really like actually add anything to my project.
Plotting is important.
Yes.
Especially when you don't know the ending and you're trying to figure it out.
Endings are very important.
My like next project, I have like 2 possible endings that are like pretty different, like different outcomes of what can happen, and I can't decide between them. But the great thing is that like it won't change the rest of the story that much. So I'm just gonna write until I figure it out, figure out how I want it.
Just see which ending you're feeling like when you get there.
Yeah, exactly. Because both of them would like completely change the direction of like a sequel. So I'm like, which would I want? I don't know.
I got 500 right on the dot.
I got a total of 500 for this whole night.
What did you say, Kelly?
Was the 500 with or without cheating?
It was with the last sentence cheating. But I did get distracted at the beginning, so.
Okay. Words written are words written.
Yeah. I really wanted to get 1,500 tonight, and I got 1,565, so
Woo.
success. I wrote down everyone's awesome suggestions for Sunday specials. So we'll have those on hand and keep just doing them as time goes by. Have we talked about our book club for this month yet?
I don't think we have, other than our quarterly video. It's One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I think it's going to be an interesting chat. It's in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I got opinions.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really interesting discussion.
I'm excited to start it.
Yeah, and it's a pretty quick read. I think I read it in like 2 days. Definitely a page turner. We've got people sharing their word counts in the discussion section. You guys are doing so great. We had a question from Franny. What is your thought on reading or writing dark sensitive topics with dark sensitive capitalized? So very dark, very sensitive.
Depends on what the dark and sensitive topics are.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
It's
how
very
you
so
do
much by
them.
topic and how it's handled, and
your experience with those things.
Yeah. Generally, go for it. Get sensitivity readers if it is something that is outside of your own experience. Not just one, but multiple.
Even if it's within your own experience, consider it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it can be done. And I think there's definitely a place for dark and sensitive topics on every age category. So we had another question from Made in the SOS. How do you write a character that is a writer without turning them into a self-insert?
That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable. It's your own experience as a writer is absolutely going to seep in, but that's okay. Just craft a character like you normally would. And then...
Yeah. I think one thing that can sometimes be frustrating with characters that are authors is that sometimes like there's a lot of like wish fulfillment in it where it like doesn't seem realistic anymore. Where it's like everything goes right for this writer. Within a week of submitting, they have like they've gone to auction and have $1 million deal.
Yeah. Anytime I read those or see them on TV, I'm like, this was written by a writer. You know this is not how it works.
Although, super side note, that has really made me love Jane the Virgin over the last little while, because her writing experiences are not all glowy and wonderful. It's no spoilers, but there's ups and downs. And
it's
a lot of more realistic takes than you usually see on TV.
Yeah. Jane the Virgin is the only TV show that I've ever watched where I didn't get frustrated with the portrayal of the publishing world. And maybe Nick on New Girl, but that one's just comedy.
That one's just more funny.
Yeah.
That one I'm like, I can accept if absurd things happen to him because it's New Girl and it's Nick. So.
Yeah. And even his publishing story, it isn't that impossible.
Yeah.
And it's cool that he is like an indie author, which you don't really ever see indie authors on TV. It's always like, this major publishing house has suddenly offered you $10 million. We had a question about fan fiction that we're going to try and answer. I may be misunderstanding it, so if I am, please feel free to clarify. But we'd love to help out with it. The question was from Jada saying you don't want to do fan fiction, but are wondering if it can be useful to imitate or like rewrite an author's words to get the feel for it, to kind of like get better at writing, and like how that can be a useful thing. And so I was wondering if you guys have ever done anything like that, whether it's like direct fan fiction or just like really studying an author's writing to try and imitate it to get better at writing.
There's definitely value in it, however you go about it, as long as you're aware that it's not stuff you can put out into the universe and you really are just trying to learn. There's a lot of different strategies you can use. One I'd heard was like reading one of your favorite scenes and putting the book away and trying to rewrite it yourself. Like not trying to take the same turns of phrase, just take that scene that you love and try to recreate it using your own mind, your own words, and kind of then compare notes. Could be interesting.
Yeah. I almost think this happens a little bit inevitably when you're writing your first books, like your first full books. I know some of my earlier novels, like I'll read them and be like, oh my gosh, this is straight up the book that I was reading a month before.
Yeah, my first novel was very Avatar: The Last Airbender, but with dragons.
Okay, but that sounds awesome.
Please write that. Yeah, I remember being in like middle school or something, and me and one of my friends were both like, we wanted to be writers, and we would like write and share our stories with each other, and we were totally just like redoing Harry Potter. Like it was so Harry Potter.
Yeah. For sure. And then like this doesn't necessarily mean that like the first book you ever finish is guaranteed to be a carbon copy of your favorite authors and you can't do anything with it. But yeah, I do think that like letting yourself do that and like play with worlds that are familiar to you or things that are familiar to you can be a great way to get more comfortable with writing and get better at it. And then as you revise or like revise that novel, if that's what you choose to do, or move on to different novels, you just get better and better, and you get into your own style more and more. And then you can use those authors as comp titles. All right. I think I've gotten all of the questions. I apologize if I missed any. We've been on for a very long time though, so we're probably going to wrap things up.
Yeah. This is an awesome time to wrap, so we'll just run with it. Thank you all so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. We will be back next week with, are we saying this?
Yeah.
Okay. So we really liked the suggestion about talking about book awards. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of the real life ones, but somehow over the course of the next little, I don't know, 10 minutes after in post chat, we'll figure out some of our own categories, and we'd love to hear from you guys on what bookish award categories you'd like us to just jump into and give winners for. So we're making up our own book award show, but very informally.
Yeah. And so if there are any awards that you would love to see us give to books, put them in the discussion section or in the comments, or you can always tweet at us at WordNerds blog. We are all over the place.
We will probably tweet the suggestion out at some point this week as well, and get you guys involved. And then we'd love to hear your winners next week during the live chat for all of the categories we come up with. I think this will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, so that is it for us today. Hopefully we will see you next week for our super impromptu, completely unnamed book award show.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.